All right, we are back with some more NHL 26 content. Now, before you click out of this video, I know we have the Anaheim Ducks here. I just want to show you guys how this is going to work. So, we are going to be doing a career simulation of Matthew Schaefer. Now, I don't want to interfere with the New York Islanders whatsoever, so we're taking over the Anaheim Ducks, and we're just going to sim through, but we're keeping a look at Matthew Schaefer only. And obviously, the Islanders will be taking a look at how they're doing if Schaefer is traded or signs with another team. We will be looking at that team, but we are only looking at Matthew Schaefer for this entire simulation, okay? So let's get right into it. So to start us off, Matthew Schaefer is in the NHL. Thankfully, he is third pair defenseman on the New York Islanders. 80 overall, medium elite potential. Let's see how he does. You know, I'm really curious to see what they think this kid's gonna do. Can be really exciting. We'll be checking the beginning of the year, see where he is at overall wise and all that good stuff, and we'll be checking at the end of the season, see all of his stats. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so after year one, Matthew Schaefer ended up with 80 games played, 4 goals, 15 assists, 19 points, and was a -11. Not the best from him. He's still an 80 overall. Yeah, not the best. So the Islanders actually did end up making the playoffs. They swept the Rangers in the first round, and they got swept by the Sabres in the second round, believe it or not. But Schaefer just, was pretty invisible, to be honest. -7, especially, you swept the first series, nothing there. But, hopefully he can get better. So, after year two, Matthew Schaefer did end up playing a pretty much full season. He played 60 games, so I'm assuming he probably got hurt. 12 goals, 23 assists, 35 points with Erie. Yeah, doesn't make sense at all. I really don't understand that. It's making this look stupid. And Islanders, great decision. Maybe they were tanking because they were the worst team in the National Hockey League last year. So, you know what? Let's see where they're at to start year three. All right, thankfully for year three, Matthew Schaefer is on the Islanders. What a concept. He grew to 84 overall. Top 4 defenseman playing with Alexander Romanov. We'll see how he does. This Islanders team, like I said, was the worst team in the league last year. Doesn't really look like they made too many improvements, more just like depth signings, but you still got Sorokin in the net. Let's see how they do. So at the end of year three, Schaefer ended up having a tough season. 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 games played, -22. Islanders also ended up missing the playoffs. Just 1 point better than his first year. At an 84 overall, he's a two-way defender. We're hoping for a little bit more from him, but, let's see what happens. Of year 4, I believe it is, Matthew Schaefer still at an 84 overall. He's got a better D partner, though. Let's look at the rest of the Islanders team. Not looking too strong, to be honest. Did he sign an extension? He did sign his extension, okay, so 5.3 for 3 years. Good for him, man. All right, so, he's getting a little money, almost like a little bridge deal, but, hopefully he can live it up. Let's get that 10 million plus contract next. The Islanders did end up making the playoffs in year 4. Matthew Schaefer again, 80 games played, 20 points. Not doing that well. I'm kind of surprised. He's still at an 84. Yeah, just not really doing that well. His plus minus was a hell of a lot better, so that's good. Playoff stats, he did get some points in the playoffs this time, though. 1 goal, 3 assists, and 4 points. At the beginning of year 5 for Matthew Schaefer, he is an 85 overall. Islanders looking not that good, to be honest, so we'll see what happens. Matthew Schaefer, he's still got 2 more years left on his contract. Let's see how he does. For 5, Matthew Schaefer ends up having 26 points on the team, still at an 85 overall. The Islanders did miss the playoffs, but he did have his best season yet at 26 points and a -9. Kind of weird that he keeps playing 80 games a season. Maybe, I don't know. He's going to go into his last contract, or last year of his contract. Let's see what happens next. So, at the beginning of year 6, Matthew Schaefer is still an 85 overall, which is concerning. He's 23 years old, still has that medium elite potential, 85 overall. This Highlanders team is looking weak. I don't think this is going to be a good sim at all for Schaefer. I'm hoping he can win like an individual award, like a cup or something, but this Islanders team is just looking rough. So at the end of year 6, Matthew Schaefer ends up playing a full season, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points as a -17. The Islanders did end up missing the playoffs. Looking at his career stats so far, a little over 400 games played. He's just not producing well. I really think it's the team, the Islanders themselves, which are not helping him whatsoever develop. Hopefully, just because he has that medium elite potential, maybe he can jump up to high 80s, low 90s eventually. Then we could really start seeing some progress. But for now, I mean, it's very stagnant of his career. At the start of year 7 for Matthew Schaefer's career, he's still at an 85 overall. Still has that medium elite, but I mean, the guy is just not developing. He did get a new contract, 8.380 for the next 4 years. No trade clauses, so maybe we could see like a trade or him go to another team, because honestly, that might just be the best at this point for him. No awards, hasn't really done much. The Islanders team, it's looking a little bit better offensively. Yeah, not really. It's still a pretty bottom feeder team. Who is this Fisher guy? Marshall Fisher, third overall in 2028. Goalies, Sorokin's still there, but this is just not a good team at all. Schaefer is struggling. The year, Matthew Schaefer ended up 30 points, so he's slowly getting better offensively. Starting at 19, 20, 20, 26, 27, 30. So better year there. -5. So again, a little bit better. He's never been a plus in his career. Again, the Islanders did not make the playoffs, so tough year for the Islanders. They're just not a good team for Schaefer, unfortunately, and he's just not producing that well. But again, we're just hoping he bumps up in overall. And at the beginning of year 8, Matthew Schaefer still an 85 overall. Very disappointing to see that. He does have a better line mate, though, Emil Andre. I think last year he was playing with like an 81, 82 overall. So hopefully that can help his production. The team is looking a tiny bit better, to be honest. Marshall Fisher, this guy, I want better from you. I mean, again, just this Islanders team is just not good. They got Spencer Knight, though, so I mean, they're starting to trend upward. Hopefully that can help Schaefer, but it's not looking good still. Another poor year from Matthew Schaefer. This is his worst year to date. He only got 18 points. His worst statistical season ever. -28. Worst. Oh my God. It's just getting worse for him. He just signed that $8.3 million deal, and he is just not performing. This Islanders team, I mean, oh my Lord, they are just not producing. This is just a bad team he's got around him, unfortunately. At the beginning of, God, I think it's year 9 of Matthew Schaefer's career, he is an 86 overall, making 8.3 for the next 2 years. He did grow up one potential, as we do see, he lost that medium elite potential. That's tough. That's tough. He's on the second pair this year with Elijah Dolan, who was a 5th rounder by the Florida Panthers some time ago. But some interesting developments with the New York Islanders. Connor Bedard is on the Islanders, okay? So hopefully, with the team starting to look a little bit better, I mean, the depth is not that good. You don't have a number 1 D man, but you got Connor Bedard on the team, hopefully helping Schaefer step up his game. Maybe get Schaefer a Stanley Cup or 2. That'd be really cool to see. And another disappointing year from the Islanders. They did not make the playoffs. Once again, Matthew Schaefer did rebound. He had 30 points, tying his career high. -12, though. I mean, this Islanders team is just not good. And I don't understand how. Because Connor Bedard, 121 points, 70 goals. And you're still missing the playoffs? That's just unbelievable. And for the start of year 10 for Matthew Schaefer's career, he's still at an 86 overall. He now has that exact top 4 potential. So it looks like he's not going to end up being, that number 1 overall pick, what it should be. Good news, though, the Islanders up front, at least, are looking pretty stacked. They still got Bedard. They have this Wyatt Sillinger kid. Did he even play last year? Yeah, he did. That kid's now a 92 overall. They got another kid, 92 overall. They're finally starting to trend upwards, so hopefully that just, benefits Schaefer. So at the end of year 2, great news for Matthew Schaefer. He does end up winning a Stanley Cup with the New York Islanders. Let's check out his stats and see how he did for the year. So he ends up with 62 games played, 27 points. So technically his best point per game season. You like to see that. 25 games played, only 3 points, though. But you know what? Hey, the guy's got a Stanley Cup. At the end of the day, that's really what matters. This is his last year of his deal. So let's see if the Islanders re-sign him or if he goes to another team. Maybe because he just won a Stanley Cup, that'll change. But there's the Stanley Cup for Matthew Schaefer. So in a crazy development after a 10-year stint in Long Island, winning a Stanley Cup, Matthew Schaefer has signed with the Washington Capitals. Oh my Lord. Yep, left Long Island, signed with Washington in the offseason. $11.6 million, 5 years, no movement clause. What a crazy development from Matthew Schaefer, leaving the Islanders on a pretty poor Washington team, to be honest. Uh, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. Should have stayed in Long Island, especially after winning a cup. Maybe they let him go. You know, the guy's asking for $11.6 million for an 86 overall defenseman. Pretty crazy, but looks like we're going to be keeping track of Washington now. With Schaefer's first year as a Washington Capital, he had his best offensive year to date. 35 points. Was also a plus 25. The first time he was plus in his career. That was with Erie, so I'm going to ignore that. But let's see playoff stats. So Washington did make the playoffs. They lost in the second round. Yeah, Schaefer was poor in the playoffs, though. 12 games played, 0 goals, 4 points, -7. So he's not too crazy in the playoffs. Career stats so far, 784 games, 72 goals, 180 assists, 252 points so far. All right, the next season, Matthew Schaefer is still in 86 overall. Still has 4 more years left on his deal, so we're getting at least another 4 years with him as a Capital. Yeah, Washington's looking a little tough. They got Ryan Leonard, which I like. But, looking a little tough. Oh, geez, this is the Islanders all over again. And, yeah, defense is looking very weak, too. Hopefully we can have a good year from Schaefer, though. So, after a year of not making the playoffs for the Washington Capitals, Matthew Schaefer had a pretty Matthew Schaefer year, you know, about 30 points. He's playing a tiny bit better, I feel like, with Washington, though, so I do like that. He was a +3 this season on a team that did not make the playoffs. Yeah, no awards or anything. He still got that 11.6 for 4 more years, so we'll see how it's going for him. And for the start of year 13 for Matthew Schaefer's career, still at an 86 overall, has not dropped off yet, thankfully. 30 years of age. This Washington team's still looking a little tough. Still looking a little tough. We'll see how they do. Who's this Potter guy? I mean, I like Protas. I like Leonard. I like Slaney. Got Gabe Pillow, but tough team. Who they got in net? Oh, Jesus, that's a tough team. And at the end of the year, as you all probably could have predicted, Washington did not make the playoffs. Matthew Schaefer had, again, an average Matthew Schaefer year. 31.7 goals, 24 assists. Yeah, he's almost at 1,000 games played, which is crazy already. Like, this kid, I don't even know how to explain. I'm just being an idiot right now and rambling. Plus 12 for the season. Again, Washington did not make the playoffs, but, you know, still at the 86 overall. And at the start of year 14, Matthew Schaefer still on the Washington Capitals and on a Washington team that looks even worse. Why Schaefer signed there, I don't know. I mean, he was clearly chasing the money. He got his cup. But I think Washington is, like, so bad. So before his salary was, like, 11.6 something. Now it's 11.7. So I think Washington is so bad. They literally, like, had to bump up their salaries so that Washington could hit the minimum. But, I mean, my God. He's got 2 more years in Washington. Let's see how it goes. Shockingly, the Washington Capitals did end up making the playoffs. Matthew Schaefer with 36 points. Is that a career year for him? It is. Wow. 36 points. Okay, so crazy how with age he's just getting better in points. +1 in the season, so has been a plus his whole career in Washington. Definitely playing a lot better than he did in Long Island. Playoff stats, 13 games played, 3 assists, but did not show up in the playoffs, was a -6. He did drop to an 85 overall, though. Of the 2039-2040 season, Matthew Schaefer still at the 85, you know, dropped at the end of last season. 32 years of age. He's in his last year of his deal. We'll see if he goes somewhere else. We'll see if he extends. Hopefully he goes somewhere else to try and win. It'd be nice to see him get another championship or 2 before he retires, but Washington is looking pretty much the same. But I mean, hey, last year they made the playoffs. Maybe they could do it again this year. And another Matthew Schaefer season. So they did not make the playoffs. Matthew Schaefer did drop to an 84 overall. Got 36 points in 81 games played. He did sign an extension though. I wish I could see how much money it is though, but he did sign an extension. We do definitely got to keep starting to watch to see if he's going to retire because he is dropping in rating. I'm assuming by the end of this deal he's going to retire, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I want him to be traded, to be honest. Like, I want him to get another cup. And for year 16, I believe it is, for Matthew Schaefer, 84 overall, medium top four. Let's see, he got the 12.5 year extension, or $12.5 million a year, sorry, 4 years. That might be the end of Schaefer's career after that contract, but I mean, man, the guy's chasing the bag on, again, a weak Washington team, but I mean, last year they made the playoffs. Yeah, I'm not liking their forward core. I'm not liking this team, but I mean, hey, if they're making the playoffs, I can't complain. So Schaefer ends up having his best year yet. 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points, but he has dropped down to an 81 overall, which is shocking, especially after a career year. I mean, this guy can retire anytime. Just absolutely crazy. Washington did make the playoffs. How did he do in the playoffs? They lost in the first round. 3 assists, and you know what? He also showed up for the playoffs too. What was his plus minus? Plus 11 too. So I mean, honestly, he's been pretty good since signing in Washington. But yeah, 81 overall. I mean, he dropped off, and he dropped off quick. So somehow, after ending the season 81 overall, Schaefer is now a 82 overall. He is 34 years old. His potential has dropped to top six. I mean, seriously, this guy can retire anytime soon. He's got maybe this year and one more year. I don't think he's gonna end up finishing that contract, to be honest. Washington still is looking tough. Oh, they lost Slaney. That guy Slaney. Washington again looking tough, but hey, you know what? They've been proving me wrong. They've been making the playoffs. So a tough year by Schaefer. 78 games played, 17 points. His worst statistical season. Yeah, even worse than his rookie year. He 1 year 18. He was a 0 though, so again has not been negative with Washington. Has dropped to a 79 overall. His role is top six. He's got maybe 1 year in him if he not retiring now. And also Washington did not make the playoffs as we all predicted. And Schaefer's at a 78 overall, potential 7th D. Oh my lord, yeah, he's gone soon. He's definitely out of the league soon. Somehow he's on the first pair. I don't understand like what's going on there. But you know what? He is. I don't know. Offense. God, a terrible team from Washington. Poor Schaefer, man. I mean, he wasn't a bad defenseman in this franchise mode, but he definitely deserved. I mean, you know what? He got a cup. No individual awards, though, but I mean, he got a cup. So at the end of the year, believe it or not, Washington did make the playoffs. Schaefer did have a better season compared to last year. 81 games played. 26 points was a plus 10. As you can see, though, he did drop to a 76 overall. He's labeled as a depth defenseman. Is this when he finally retires? Who knows? Who knows? Playoff stats, only 3 games in the playoffs? He didn't even play the entire play. Maybe he was injured, but he didn't even play in the entire playoffs. Oh my god. And yes, he did retire. That is the end. Matthew Schaefer has retired. 1,352 games played, 119 goals, 353 assists, 472 goals. Had 2 more years left on his contract, but he did drop fast. A 76 overall depth defenseman. So, you know, well over 1,000 games played. You know, he did have a long career. A bunch with the Islanders, a bunch with the Capitals. Ended up playing 77 playoff games. Only 2 goals in the playoffs, though. But you know what? He does have the elusive Stanley Cup. No individual awards. But, again, at the end of the day, he's got a cup. he made a lot of money during his career. So, let me know what you guys think of this video. It definitely went a lot more poor than I thought it would go. I thought he would be a lot better, but I don't really know what happened, to be honest. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this. Um, I want to do the top 10 picks from the 2025 draft, but I mean, if they all end up like this, who knows? But let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna get out of here.